right. So guys, just a little bit introductions before I continue with my presentation. So today we are going to deep dive into the cloud concept. If you guys are familiar with cloud, then I think this would be a very this would be extra knowledge for you guys. But if you guys just want to just want to have a look at cloud and the future of cloud, then I will be showing a lot of concept to you guys. I hope that you guys won't be sleepy because you guys have had lunch. Most of you guys have had lunch. Um, and in this huddle session too, I would like us to be as interactive as possible. I will be conducting a quiz, and if you win the quiz, you will get a Windows 11 key. But I've changed my mind on that, right? If you manage to get to be a winner in the quiz in that I have already hosted here, I will be giving you any product keys in any line, in any Microsoft line of products, right? So let's say, for example, if you guys want to have like Windows Server key, or probably you want to have Windows 11 Pro key, or probably you want to have like the latest Microsoft Office product key as well, I can give you that, right? Only one people will be selected to have this. All right, but if I have like a lot of competitive people who can actually get the answers right, probably I can add up another guy so that I can give an extra license to the other guy, just to give away all of the resources that I have, right? And also, if you completed the attendance, the feedback form that I have in the end of this presentation, you will be rewarded. You will be given an attendance certificates from Microsoft Learn. Right, so stay with me until the end of the presentation, so you guys can actually benefit from this presentation. All right. Okay, so I can see Andy here. Hi, Andy. um, Andy, yeah, I think that is all. Yep. Hi, Andy.
Hello, hi, I'm
Hello.
here.
Yeah, hi. Have you had lunch?
Oh yes, sure.
Oh, yes. What did you have?
I had noodles, yeah, for lunch.
Same
Yeah,
as Cheryl. She also had a
yep,
bowl
yep.
of noodles.
Oh,
All right. So,
go ahead,
yeah.
go ahead, Shah.
All
Yeah.
right. So, thank you so much. All right. So, I will be starting my huddle session right now. All right. So, um, a little bit. Okay. Can you see my screen right now? Am I sharing the right screen?
Yes, yes.
All right, sure. Thank you so much. All right, so as I said earlier, today we are going to learn about Azure fundamentals. So Azure fundamentals is actually a part of certifications from Microsoft. If you are really interested in joining these certifications, I can give you guides on how to do the certifications, because this is all of the topics that are discussed here is part of the certifications, and I can actually give you guys certification voucher if you want to. All right, so a little bit about myself. Sorry, a little bit about myself. I am a Microsoft certified trainer for Microsoft for almost 2 years, and I am also a Microsoft innovative educator expert with certified in a lot of Azure products and Microsoft 365 products. As you can follow me on Instagram or go to my website to know more about that. All right. As I said earlier, the topics that I will be covering for this particular handle session, it is part of AZ900 certifications. Right, this is the basic of cloud fundamentals. All right, and this if you don't have any background in IT, you can also take these certifications as well, right? So this is the price to take the AZ900. So it is 55 US dollar, which is equivalent to 302 ringgit, if I'm not mistaken. Right, you can take it, you can schedule it with person view if you have the person view accounts, and probably, I mean, this one does not apply to you guys lah. But yeah, I also have this exam vouchers as well, right? But if you guys want to take it, just hit me up and I'll probably give you one certification voucher for you guys. All right. So what do you expect upon passing AZ900? You will get a certificate and also a badge from Credlist. Right. I have a lot of Credlist badges. So I mean, this is to showcase that you have a lot of achievements and accomplishments, taking certifications or hosting an event. I'm sorry. I guess I ate too much just now. All right. So this certification is part of the certification path in Microsoft. We have fundamental level exam, which is the AZ900, which is here, and then we have associate level certification path, right, which is AZ104, which is focusing on cloud admin, and the AZ204, which is focusing on Azure developer associate certification path. And the last one will be expert. This one you need to take 2 certifications in order to gain this one lah. One of the requisite is actually 104, and another part of certification, which is AZ305, right? Okay, so this is what we will learn today. The cloud models, the concept of models, what are the cloud benefits and considerations, and what are the cloud services, IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. I know that some of you guys have already known about this topic before, but this might be a refresher to you guys as well, right? So let's get into the deep, right? So do you guys know what is cloud computing? I want to know your response first before I started to brief you guys about cloud computing. Do you guys have any ideas what cloud is?
Not that much, I guess.
Not that much, eh? All right. Did anybody have any idea what cloud is? So I assume there is, no people in this room knows about cloud computing, right? So imagine that you have a server, all right? You have a server, the benefits of the resources of the server, but you don't own it. You just rent it online, right? So cloud computing is the delivery of computing services over the internet. Let's say, for example, if you want to build an app, traditionally, you will need to have a physical server with a good networking, a good storage in order to deliver your solutions to the customer, right? But you will need to have an upfront investment, right? You will need to pay for the server. You will need to pay for the server, which is actually 6K and above, right? Which is very expensive, right? But if you are using cloud, you are using all of that without having to pay for upfront cost, right? We call it capital expenditure, right? You will pay for monthly costs, which is the subscription base, which is pay as you go pricing plan, rather than paying for the full thing, right? So there are a lot of services that cloud is actually offering you, right? Some of them is compute. Compute is providing you with the benefits of having an OS operating system on virtual machines, right? As you can see, if you host a virtual machine on your PC, you will consume a lot of resources, right? If you run your VM simultaneously with all of your background processes, your computer, your laptop will become laggy, right? So why do you need to use a laggy computer, right? Why do you need to run a VM instances and background instances and at the same time? You don't need to have that. Just use the cloud, right? And it's really reasonable. The price is really reasonable too, right? And then we have the service, the networking services, all right? Networking services such as like if you have a data center, right? If you have a server and you want to connect the server to the cloud, we can also do that, right? We have a lot of networking, a lot of networking features such as Direct Connect. We have Azure VPN to connect your network, your server network to the cloud in order for the cloud to access the resources on your data center, on-prem data center, right? And then you can have storage services. You can use the storage services to host static websites, or probably a dynamic website if you want to do a website as well, right? And then you can actually store data and your files over Azure file share, right? If Azure file share is actually the same as Windows file share as well, right? They are using, if I'm not mistaken, SMB port. All right, but in Azure file share, they are using the REST API lah, or which is over HTTPS, right? And then we also have the analytics part, which if you have a big scale solutions, you can actually connect all of your existing data to do data analytics so that you can forecast your losses or your profits, right? So this is actually pretty useful for business cases as well, right? So going to the next concept, the first concept for cloud computing. We have public cloud, all right? Just a heads up, we have three cloud concept, which is the public cloud, private cloud, and hybrid cloud, right? So public cloud is owned by cloud services or hosting provider, right? There are three big names. There are a lot of cloud providers in the world, such as Oracle, Amazon, Microsoft, Google cloud platform, and then we have what we call it Alibaba Cloud, Tencent Cloud, so many cloud provider, right? But there are three main players in cloud provider game industry, right? One of them, but the big three is Amazon Web Services, AWS. All right, we already know AWS because they are so popular nowadays. And then we also have Google Cloud Platform, if you are familiar with it, right? Google has also released their own cloud as well. And there's the founder of cloud, which is Microsoft Azure. Azure has actually been around since 1997, if I'm not mistaken, right? So they provide resources and services to multiple organizations and user, right? Like in ExxonMobil, we also use cloud. We also use Azure cloud, all right, in order for us to manage our resources, in order for us to cut expenses, capital expenditure in our operations, all right? And then we also have in ExxonMobil, we also have what we call it data center, on-premise data center. They rent a data center which they will connect their networking, all right, in the cloud, all right, without having any other third-party interventions, right? So this is actually pretty useful features as well, right? And it can access via secure network connections, typically over the internet, right? You can, typically use any web browser to to actually access the cloud, right? All right. So as for the private cloud, imagine private cloud as private data center. All right. If you have a data center, then there you go. You have a private cloud already, right? But it is strictly can be accessed to the organization owner or organization members, right? No other people wouldn't have the ability to come into the network unless if they are a hacker lah. Of course, we are not taking into the risk of hacker going into the private cloud, right? But no other people from outsiders, they can't access private cloud owned by an organizations or company, right? All right, so organization is responsible for operating the services they provide. That includes the cost of maintenance, the cost of upfront investment that they have in the data center, and they, of course, like I said earlier, they does not provide access to user outside of organizations, and this maintains security. Right, people will use private cloud only because they have security requirements they want to comply, right? So that is one of the benefits of using private cloud, right? And for the last part, which is the hybrid cloud, right? Hybrid cloud is the combinations of public and private clouds at the same time to allow applications to run in the most appropriate locations. Let's say, for example, if you have a heavily extended resources who rely heavily on security, you can put it into the private cloud, right? If you have a non-extensive applications but want to use the cloud more, you can place it on public cloud. So it depends on your requirements. If you own an organization, you know what you want. You won't use whatever you don't want, right? So yeah. So let's go through the comparison, the side-to-side comparison of cloud model, right? So public cloud, all right, they have no capital expenditure to scale up, right? This is good for tech startup, right? Because for tech starters, for tech startup, they don't have the budget to own an infrastructure, right? So they can use the cloud, right? They can use the cloud. Probably they can scale their application, they can scale their resources after 3 years if they know, okay, most of our customer want to use our applications, right? They see the demand there, and they can actually extend their resources just like that. I mean, it is just you can change all of that by the click of a button, right? And application can be quickly provisioned and deprovisioned, since you don't need to use VPN to access to the backend server, right? You don't need to use all of that, right? You don't need to use VPN, you don't need to use like antivirus. All of that is maintained by Microsoft, right? We will look into that, into the shared responsibilities of the cloud later, right? And organization pay only for what they use. For what they don't use, they just drop away lah. They just drop off all of the resources that they don't use, right? So that will significantly, right, reduce the cost of cloud, right? It reduced the cost of operations, sorry, IT operations, right? And for the private cloud, hardware must be purchased for startup and maintenance. Imagine how big of the cost of your investment, your upfront investment for the infrastructure alone, right? It might cost 1 million, might cost half a million already for the cloud infrastructure, for the infrastructure itself, like providing the networking part, buying for storage parts, buying for servers, maintaining for servers. It will add up to the cost, right? And organizations have complete control over resources and security. This is one of the what we call it, the benefits of the clouds, which they can govern their resources security based on the requirements that their company have for security requirements. And then organizations are responsible for hardware maintenance and updates. This will add up to the cost lah, like I said earlier, right? And for the hybrid cloud, all right, it provides the most flexibility because you can actually assign your applications where to private cloud, where to public cloud. Organizations determine where to run the application. Organization control security, compliance, and legal requirements as well. All right. So you don't stuck in the private cloud forever, right? Okay. So we will look into the cloud benefits as well, right? Okay. So one of the benefits of the cloud is that they have high availability. All right. In Azure, we will look into this. I mean, for the next other session, if I were to be invited to talk, right, I will talk more about Azure region, Azure availability zones, Azure availability sets as well, right? So if you host an applications, all right, you can actually plan for disaster recovery, right? In on-premise, in traditional data center, you don't need to have you need to back up all of your data every single week, right? Every single day for some company, right? Because we want to prepare for disaster recovery. But for cloud, you don't need to do that. Microsoft will do all of that for you, right? Because since you are using a cloud, right? So by saying high availability, we can actually back up our data to another region, right? In cloud, we have a lot of data center. We have like thousands of Microsoft data center over the world, right? And for each region, we have 3 big data center, right? Imagine you can replicate your data to all those data center, to all those availability zones, and to other region as well, right? Let's say, for example, a region, I mean, the APAC region, the Asia Pacific region is down. Okay, probably because they have some sort of like attack, all right, a coordinated attack where they decided to like burn down data centers in APAC, right? There's still, I mean, we have other data center as well in another region, right? So that will provide you with higher availability. Microsoft SLA, Microsoft Azure Cloud SLA is 99.999%. All right, so you don't need to care about your application or your solutions going down or not. So it's a win-to-win situations, right? They get your money, but you get back all of the benefits that you pay for them, right? And then it is fault tolerance, like I said earlier, and then it has elasticity. Let's say, for example, if you have a VM, right, a virtual machine, you have set it up to 16 core, 32 gig or 64 gig of RAM, and all of the storage is set up to 1 TB, right? But over the time, let's say, for example, your solutions, you need more than that, you can actually scale them up just like that. All right. If you want to do this, right, in a physical data center, you will need to buy for parts, right? So I mean, of course, the parts alone are very, very expensive. We don't want that, right? So to eliminate that, you can use cloud for this elasticity as well. Elasticity, I mean, for the scalability and elasticity, I think it's the same term lah, actually. And then, like I said earlier, because we have a lot of data center globally, we can actually reach reach our end user anywhere around the world, right? And of course, for the security part, it is highly secure because Microsoft, they have a lot of tools for security. We have Azure Monitor, we have Azure Sentinel, we have Azure PIM, and then we have Azure, like they have a tier of security, okay, where we could actually customize at the end of the day, right? Okay, and then also I want to highlight about predictive cost considerations as well, right? They have some sort of like calculator, if I'm not mistaken. Let me try to show you what did I mean. We can actually calculate our total cost of ownership and how we can save money out of that. Right, so Microsoft has this kind of calculator where they show you how you can save money. You can plan how much you will spend on the cloud, right? So you can actually use this as part of the cloud experience. I'll share it in the chat, right? So in this example, we have, I mean, like they will ask you to define your workloads, right? Let's say, for example, if you have a server, you can add your server requirements here. You can have your existing server requirements or specifications here. If you have database, you can actually put it in, also storage, networking part, and all of these things, so that you can actually calculate your cost in the cloud, right? And you can compare it with your total cost of ownership of owning a private cloud, of owning a traditional data center, right? So I hope that you guys, if you guys want to use the cloud, you can actually take a look at this website to calculate your costs, right? Okay, so continue to the next slide. All right, so this is what I said earlier, all right? Capital expenditure and operational expenditure. What are capital expenditure? I mean, I know that some of you guys does not have any business background or probably operational. I mean, of course you have operational background, but some of you doesn't know what is capex and opex. So capital expenditure is something that we invest upfront. All right, the amount of you spending money on physical infrastructure, like I said earlier, right? The costs from capex have a value that reduces over time, because every single devices, every single server, they have a shelf life, right? They can be decommissioned at some period of time, right? So the investment, I mean, I cannot say that it is an investment. It is actually a liability for you over the time, right? Because over the time you will need to upgrade and to maintain the server. So it's not an investment. It is a liability if you want to invest on a server, right? It's the same as you invest in your computer, right? Computer, PC, or laptop. Over the time, their performance will degrade, right? And I mean, for the operational expenditure, I mean, in cloud, we use operational expenditure because we are paying monthly or annually, right? So we can spend on products and services that we actually needed, right? Not to spend on a single server, but we can spend on the value that the server can actually provide to us. All right, and then we can actually get billed immediately, whether we want to get billed for the month or probably for the year as well. You can actually use that. Okay, so the cloud is all about consumption based model. All right, because because cloud is they have this kind of, like I said earlier, just a total cost of ownership calculator, right? So you can have a better cost prediction, all right, where you want to spend your money, right, every month or every year, right? And the prices for individual resources and services are provided as well. We have Azure Monitor. I will show you the walkthrough of Azure Portal after this. Okay, they have Azure Monitor where they can actually advise you when you are using your cloud over the limits that you have set up there. All right. And you will not get billed. I mean, you can actually set up a threshold of your spendings in the cloud as well, so that you won't be billed just, out of nowhere, right? So billing is based on actual usage, right? Pay as you go. You pay for what you use. All right. So for the next part, I think this is the last objective domain. I will stop a little while to you guys to ask for any questions. Do you guys have any questions? I want to hear from members of the floor whether you guys have any questions or not. Do you guys have any questions regarding this?
This one, the pricing for the private, public, and hybrid cloud, is it different or is it the same?
Actually, it depends on your solutions. Actually, it really depends on your solutions. Let's say, for example, if you want to create like for a personal use, right? You want to use public cloud, which is the cloud provider from the cloud provider like AWS or GCP or Microsoft Azure. Let's say, for example, if you want to host a Minecraft server, right? Just for the sake of you inviting your friends to play together, to play Minecraft together, right? You can actually calculate all of the costs that is included, all right, in the cloud itself. They have some sort of like calculator. They will give you the end price for each month, all right, or the price of each year, right? So you can actually predict your consumption based on that as well, right? But for private cloud, it depends on organizations. Some of the organizations, they have their own budget in their IT operational expenditure. For hybrid cloud, it really depends on the company as well, right? Because the cloud it's all about consumption based, right? They're all about consumption based. They pay for what they use, right? So does that answer your question, Suren?
Yep.
Yeah, thank you so much for asking questions.
Right.
Yeah, any questions again from the members of the floor? All right, I think we don't have any questions. I think you guys are pretty understanding of what I am trying to say. All right, that's good. All right. For the next part, I will introduce you. Some of you might know these: infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. All of these cloud services, they are divided, all right, based on the responsibility from Microsoft and us, right? So I will show you next, right? So for infrastructure as a service, all right, it is a build pay as you go IT infrastructure by renting server, right? If you run a VM instances, right, a virtual machine instances, like let's say, for example, if you want to host your own server, right, on the cloud, right, you use infrastructure as a service, right? But there are responsibility that you need to bear in the cloud, and Microsoft will also have responsibility on the cloud as well, right? So for the physical server and storage, networking, firewalls, and security, and data center, physical plant and building, all of this Microsoft will provide to you, right? But you will need to configure your operating system, how much you want to use the RAM, how much you want to use the CPU, you want what are the data that are existing in the server, all of it, you must bear the responsibility based on that, right? The security as well is part of you. The physical security is part of Microsoft, right? But the what we call it, the implementations of security it is your responsibility, right? I will show you in a very brief diagram after this, right? So if you use a virtual machine, remember, if you use a virtual machine or you use any Microsoft infrastructure, right, remotely, that is considered as using infrastructure as a service, right? Okay. Yep. All right, and then we have platform as a service. It provides environment for building, testing, and deploying software applications without focusing on managing underlying infrastructure, right? It is like let's say, for example, if you want to build an applications, right? So you don't need to take care about all of the operating system. You don't need to take care about your data center, physical plant building. You don't need to take care about networking and server and storage. You don't need to take care about all of these things, right? You just need to focus on developing your applications. You just need to focus on the database configurations. You will need to focus on the data or the value that you want to provide to the customer, to your end user, right? So if you are building an applications and you don't want to use any server, you don't want to configure any server, remember that is a platform as a service. All right, we actually have a lot of services that are using PaaS. One of them is Azure MySQL. All right, the database, the data analytics part. You don't need to take care about the computing part. You just need to take care of your solutions and the value that the solutions that will bring to the end user, right? So I mean, all of these things, it provides environment for building, testing, and deploying software applications. It is perfect for developers, for software developers, right? And software as a service, all right? You do a software as a service, you don't need to take care of any of this: server and storage, networking, data center, operating system, development tools, database management, and hosted application apps. You don't need to develop applications at all. You just need to use the services, right? Software as a service, all right? So I guess most of you have already used software as a service in daily life, right? Do you guys use Gmail or Microsoft Outlook or OneDrive or what we use, Confluence? All of that is actually software as a service, right? You don't need, I mean, you don't have to build your applications, right? You don't need to take care about your VM, I mean, the VM specifications or server side specifications, right? You just need to use their services. You just know how to use their services. You don't need to take care about their networking, their data center, or their database. All that you know is that you use their services, right? So I think all of us nowadays, including Netflix, Netflix, Spotify, Instagram, and every single applications that we use, that is actually a software as a service model, right? So this is, I think I already explained about this, all right? And we will go to the shared responsibility model. This is, I mean, what I said earlier, right? In cloud, we have this shared responsibility model, right? In an on-premise cloud, you are responsible to manage all of this: storage, networking, compute, virtual machine, operating system, applications, Hyper-V, data access. All of this is under you. You need to manage all of these things, right? This is an increased risk over the time because people can actually hack you, and you need to bear responsibility. You need to bear all of the IT operations on you, right? But if you're using cloud, you can actually divide this responsibility to Microsoft, right? If you are using infrastructure as a service, all of these blue lines will be taken care by Microsoft or by cloud provider. All right. And I mean, for infrastructure as a service, you just need to take care about your virtual machine configurations, operating system, what operation that you want, what OS that you want to run, and what applications that you want to host, or what data you want to store in the server, right? And for platform as a service, you don't need to take care of any of these things. You don't need to configure the operating system, the virtual machines, and below, right? You just need to develop. You have the time to focus on applications and data and access, right? And for the last part, right, we use this every single day. You don't need to be a developer to use this kind of model, right? Because we actually use it every day. right? So we don't need to take care about the application runtime, what operating system that are existing in the cloud of let's say, for example, Netflix, right? We don't need to take care about the operating system that Netflix use, or the virtual machine that Netflix use as well, right? Because they are using cloud, right? So we just need to take care about our data and access, all right? If we are having access to the said application, then it's good for us, right? Okay, so I think this is the last slide that I actually cover. If you have any other questions, I want to add something. I want to add, like, we in Microsoft Azure, we have a serverless computing as well, right? We have a feature where we could issue a line of command line or PowerShell line of commands to actually deploy a VM, or actually can scale the VM based on our usage. Right? We call it virtual machine scale sets, right? So this is actually provisioned by Microsoft, completely provisioned by Microsoft, and we can focus on the value that we can bring to the customer, right? So I mean, I guess the slide has already been deleted, but you can refer to the slides in the Confluence page that Suren has already prepared, right? So any questions before we are going to the quiz? Are you guys excited for the quiz, or are you guys still here with me? Do you have any other questions? If not, then we can go to the quiz. All right, I guess I assume that you don't have any questions, so let's go to the quiz. So I mean, forget about this, forget about Windows 11 Pro. Yeah, you can actually focus, you can actually apply for any single product key in the Microsoft product line, and you can request from me for the license key. And the winner will get that lah. The winner will get that benefits, right? So just go to quizizz.com/join and put this code in. We will have a live we call it a live quiz, right? So just go to joinmyquiz.com. I mean, it's all the same. I mean, quizizz.com/join, and you just put the code here, 187148. All right. So we have Cheryl here. Hi, Cheryl. Do we have anyone else in the room? All right, Suren. We have Suren as well. Thank you, Suren, for coming in. Do you have anyone else? All right, Vunyi. Okay, good. And then we can start. I'm sorry, I should have included the QR code for this as well. I don't know that we don't have any QR code. No, we don't have any QR code. Taski. All right, Abdullah, thank you for hopping in to the quiz session. All right. Who else? Who else? We have 5 people. We have 5 people. Do we have any other guy to hop in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another 2 people don't want to come in. Andy, are you okay?
I'll skip, Sean. I'll let you all compete. I'll let the rest compete.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start the quiz, right? You can start answering the quizzes. All right. Let's see. Oh, Cheryl get it right. With 870 points. Oh, Abdullah, I'm sorry for that. All right, Taski with 770 points as well. Ah, Bunyi. We can try again. Ah, Suren. 1680. Wow, Cheryl. All right, Bunyi comes into the second place.
Oh, how many questions they have, Shah?
I think it's
How many
8 questions, I guess. Yeah, I think eight.
questions?
Yeah, and
If
all.
you answer wrongly, you get a deduction, is it?
No, no,
If you
no, no.
get,
You don't get
oh,
deduction. You don't get points, lah.
okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. That's very, very great. Yeah. And all of these questions is actually part of the questions of AZ 900. If you manage to get it all right, you can actually tick up for the examination, the real
Certification.
examination. Yeah, of
Oh,
course. Yeah.
nice. Nice.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So we have Cheryl at the first place. All right. Cool. Cheryl still at the first place, 2580.
Uni is catching up.
Yeah, Bunyi is catching up. Oh, 3400. All right. Yeah, with Suren with 0 points. Never mind. Just just try again, Suren. The last question is very interesting. All right, good. All right, Cheryl is still on top of the list with 3.4k points. Right, with Bunyi 2.5 k points, Taski with 2.18k points, and Abdullah with 1.7k points. All right. Is the questions hard? I think all of the questions is actually there in in the slides. But never mind. You can all go back to the slides and refer whenever you want to refer to the things that I've already delivered today. All right. 4230. Bunyi is catching up, which is great. All right. 4150. All right, Abdullah is surpassing Taski. Great, I think Cheryl will come first. All right, Taski is catching up as well with 3k points. Great, great.
Hey Shah, what's up? Hamza here.
Yeah,
I'm not
hi,
sure if
Hamza.
it's too late for me, so sorry.
Yeah,
I
but I
was
mean, if
outside
you
for
want,
lunch.
if
I
you
just
want,
came back.
oh, I see. If you want to join, then
Hamza, you want to try the quiz without going through the overview?
I
just
don't
now if
mind.
you want?
I don't mind. I really don't mind. You can share me the link.
yeah, sure. You can go here and put the codes. Yeah. All right. I will give you the codes as well. Right. Let's see. Oh wow, Bunyi is leading on the list. I think it looks like I mean I can give 2 of the product keys to 2 of the lucky guy here lah, Bunyi and Cheryl. Let's wait for Hamza. All right, we have Abdullah.
By the way, did I get the bonus question wrong?
No. I've set up the bonus questions all right. If you say no, you will also get points there.
Because after you finished, right, then they will show you like review the questions you got wrong. And because you said all 3 for right, I think if you pick one only, you still get considered that as a wrong answer. Does that make sense?
Oh, is it? Yeah. Oh, so okay. Never mind. So I mean that is that is unfortunate. Never mind. I will
Bonus
fix that
question.
later. Yeah. See.
Like the bonus question?
Yeah, it's a bonus question lah. Actually, yeah. I see these bonus questions. Oh, I guess Andy didn't see this lah.
Yeah, now I see this.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so go for the leaderboards. Let's wait for Suren and Hamza to finish the quiz. How about Taski? Didn't you finish the quiz?
Yeah, I did. It's asking me to reattempt a question I got wrong.
Oh, you got wrong. I see. You are reviewing the questions, right?
No, I'm at the last part where it's asking me reattempt a question you got wrong. Choose wisely.
Oh, I see. All right. Thank you. All right. So Hamza with 1.3 K.
Dude, I got the bonus question wrong, man. That's not fair.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, the same as me.
Oh my god, that's unfortunate. There's supposed to be a bonus questions lah. No. All right. Yeah, I think it's the back end of the quiz lah. I've set it up to all. I mean, if you answer everything, anything in the bonus questions, you will get it right because it was supposed to be a bonus question.
What does the orange means, Shah? Is it like review the questions again? Like
It's a streak. If you get, I mean,
Oh.
if you get your answer right for 3
Mhm.
times or 2 times, you will get a streak.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it will contribute to your points
Mhm.
getting added. Yeah. Okay, Suran 3170.
Right, it's coming up.
Yeah, Suran is coming up. Hamza, you okay there?
Yep.
All right, yeah. Let's wait for Hamza. All right. So 30 questions over 27 questions wrong. Okay, Hamza have 1 point here. So don't worry if you actually got it wrong, you still get points over the answer that you chose there. I mean, if the answer is correct lah, you still get a point, even the you does not correctly satisfy the question's requirement. Say, I mean, I want to repeat this back. Okay, Hamza, if you want to take the cloud certifications, if you want to have some sort of like certifications, Microsoft Azure, you can take AZ 900, and some of the questions is actually here in the quiz. And if you get it all right, then I think you are good to go for the certifications.
I have a question about the quiz.
Yes.
Correct number of correct answers does not determine the higher points, because I see that I have a higher number of correct answers, but I'm still lesser points than Bunyi. I was just curious how that worked.
I'm not sure as well, but if you manage to select the correct answer, even though you didn't satisfy the questions requirement, then you still get a point.
Because you can see the green bar, right? Like that shows how many correct answers you got.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I was like curious a bit how that worked, because
yeah, I mean the 2 points here, right, is that you managed to get 2 questions. You satisfy all of the requirements for 2 questions, right?
Isn't that just a streak? 2 correct questions in a row.
This one, yeah. I mean, if you have the yellow bar, then you gain a streak, right? Didn't you get a
Okay.
streak?
The power thingy need be used. Will it increase the points or?
Okay. I mean, because if you see the score, right, there's the 70%, 60%, right? That is how many questions you get right. But I'm just curious how that translates to the score, because I can see that although I got 7 questions correct, Bunyi still got a higher score. So I was just curious how the points are calculated.
Yeah, I also don't know about that. I'm not sure about that as well. But I mean, after this, probably I can get back to you lah. But never mind. Since I mean, you guys have like 5K of points, I will give you guys the 2 of you guys. I mean, I will give Bunyi and Cheryl the prizes as well.
Give me something. Come on. I attempted and came third without attending the session.
Yeah. Oh, Hamza. Wow. You're on 3rd place. That's great.
Shah, if you didn't know, Hamza is over here is our resident certification guy as well. He has a lot of certifications.
Oh my, wow.
He probably can compete with you as well, Shah.
No lah. I'm way lower than him. All right.
No one is lower than anyone.
No lah. Yeah. Okay, so
I suspect it's the weightage of the questions, right? Shah, like you see each question like on top Q1, Q2, Q3, you can see 83%, 50%, 100%. Is there weightage for each of the
I
questions.
think
So
it's
yes.
the percentage of people that can get it right. If you see Q3, all of us got it correct, so it's
Yeah.
100%.
Okay. It's a percentage. All right. I thought it's the weightage because I saw like, okay, Wuni, it's scoring on most of the high weightage areas, right? Yeah.
I think the percentage of people who get it right, like this one,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
three
Right.
people over three people, 50%, right?
Mm,
Yeah.
okay.
All right. So congratulations to the top three, Vunyi, Cheryl, and Hamza. I think top three can get lah actually. Right. So Vunyi and Cheryl, you are free to request any product key or license key from me in Microsoft product lines. I will give you out the license key later. And Hamza, I will give you as a bonus one since you came in late and you still managed to get the question right. I'll give you a Windows 11 Pro product keys just for that. A consolation.
Oh, cool, man.
Yeah, right.
Cool.
Okay. So I mean, I think that is all from me. And I want to request you guys to fill in the feedback form for me. You can actually scan the QR code here and provide a feedback for me so that I can improve my presentation or improve my trainings even better next time when we have huddle session, right? So this feedback will be sent to Microsoft so that Microsoft will evaluate my training style so that I can renew my Microsoft Certified Trainer program next year, right? So in the meantime, I open the room, I open the session for you guys to ask any Q&A questions. Do you guys have any other questions? Any questions relating to Azure, relating to the certifications, relating to the cloud models? It's relatively easy.
No questions. Just that the link, could you send that in chat so that we can click on it?
All right,
Yeah.
sure.
Thanks.
Let me try to, oh, sorry. Yeah.
Have you done this before with other people before, Shah?
Not regularly, but I did. Yeah, I
Who
did.
are your audience? I mean, who are the audience that you deliver to? Is it students or those Microsoft?
Students and IT professionals, and also Microsoft full-time employees
Okay.
as well. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have already provided the links to you guys. And feel free to give a feedback. Thank you, Abdullah, for the praise. All right. So if we don't have any other questions, I will take this session to say to you guys you guys are very, very awesome to come to the huddle session to listen to my huddle session. Thank you so much for your time. I know that you guys are busy with your work, but still you have time to attend this huddle session. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate your effort to come here. You guys are awesome.
It's a very nice session. I mean, whatever that I attended in the last 15-20 minutes, it was quite a nice one. The questions were quite cool.
Yeah.
And I must say that you're a nice presenter, Shah.
Yeah, thank you so much for
The
that.
presentation skills.
Yeah, I want to comment that, Shah, you know the material by your finger, like you must have run through this many times. Like that's why I'm curious, like who you presented before, right? Like you don't have to read through the slides, but then you can, you know how to present the material.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. I am a Microsoft Certified Trainer, so of course that is my work. All right. So Hamza, I'm really I really want to know your certifications progress as well, because I am one of those people who really likes doing certifications for fun. So probably we can have a chat after this regarding our certification journey.
Absolutely, sure. Feel free to connect with me, man. Feel free to connect with me.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, all right. So thank you guys for attending this huddle session. Again, I want to thank you guys for coming in. You guys are awesome. You guys are very nice audience that I have. I guess see you next time. All right. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
attending. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Shah.
Thank
Yeah,
you, Shah, and thanks. Yeah, thanks for the session.
Thanks, Shah, for the awesome
Yeah.
session.
yeah,
Thank
thank you.
you.
Thank you
Bye
guys.
bye.
Bye bye. Bye Cheryl. Bye Abdullah. Bye Andy.
Bye.
All right. Okay, so I will stop share. And yeah, who do we have here again? All right, Cake. Hi, Cake.
Sorry.
Never
A
mind,
bit
never mind.
busy.
Never mind, never
I'm still
mind.
here. Yeah, a
Yeah.
bit busy. So yeah, it's
I
okay. It's okay.
Uh,
Yeah.